Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Love Pod. I'm Dina. We have Jordan backstage, and our special guest today is Sunny from season 6 of Love is Blind. Welcome to the show, Sunny.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We've been chatting for a while. I think you're one of the very first cast members I talked to when the season came out. So thank you for bearing with us and being so kind. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
So we have a lot of questions. We didn't get to see your story on the show, but I know you have a pretty in-depth one, and I have a lot of connections with the cast members. So we're going to get into that. We have a ton of fan questions for you. And then, as usual, our Instagram deep dive and then some games. So are you up for it?
Very much I am.
All right. So tell me what your dating life was like before the show.
Great question. I believe I was single for about 2-3 years before the show, before I left for the show. When they reached out, I really wasn't dating anybody. I kind of just have been focusing on myself. So that's kind of where I was before I left for the show.
Okay. Did you have any bad date experiences in the pods or out of the pods that you'd want to share?
I would probably, I guess I could say two different things in the pods. I mean, there was one person, I'm not going to name who it is, but there was one person that walked in that was kind of, you could tell they weren't really knowing why they were there, and they were last minute. They were just reached out to. They're super cool, but I don't know how serious it was for them because it was so last minute. So I remember like asking him, like, how did he hear about it? And it was just kind of like, well, I saw an ad, and I think that's what it was. Is he saw an ad, and he clicked on it, and then next thing you know, they invited him. So I was like, okay, cool.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm out of the target age group, but I haven't seen any ads for as much time I spend on Love is Blind content. I have not gotten an ad for Love is Blind applications. So I thought, I know a lot of the cast was recruited. Were you recruited or did you apply?
So I actually think that most of the guys were recruited and most of the girls applied. I did not apply. They did reach out to me on LinkedIn, but it is kind of a mix. But I know that the guys mostly were reached out to for sure.
What did you first think when you got that message? Because LinkedIn's such a weird place to recruit for a dating show.
Well, they recruited me from Instagram, actually. So most of the guys were LinkedIn recruited.
Oh, most of the guys were LinkedIn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which, okay. So, I can kind of
I guess so, because then they're more maybe settled in their careers. I mean, who knows the logic behind it? But did you think that it was real? Were you excited? How did you feel about getting that message?
Well, my initial thought was that it was fake because I was like, is this spam? Should I reply? But I decided to reply, and then I did a little research on the show. I mean, I've seen it a little bit, but I hadn't really gotten into what it was or thought process behind it. So then as soon as I replied, she said, can we have a call right now? So we had a call. She seemed amazing. And I loved her. She's like my hype woman. She was like, hasn't any other show reached out to you? Like, how are you single? So she wanted to push me through to the interview as soon as possible. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you a reality TV show fan in general? Have you seen any other dating shows?
I am not a huge reality TV girl at all. I did binge the show, and as soon after they reached out to me, and I have a lot of good friends that love the reality TV. So I try sometimes to do it because one of my best friends loves like playing games around reality TV shows too. So I try to stay in the know with that type of thing when she does it.
So you binge watched the other seasons before going through the rest of the casting process?
Yes.
What were your thoughts? What really clinched or sealed the deal for you that you were going to do the show?
Well, I started to really believe in the process. I was like, I can get behind this, like really building an emotional connection, because I feel like that is something hard to do. I can't lie, I haven't really been dating that much to know, but I kind of think from like my past dating, when I was dating a lot, I feel like people weren't emotionally available and they didn't have that emotional connection. So I was like, you know what, like this could be the reason I've been single for so long, is I need to build that emotional connection first. So I started to really like the idea.
That's fair. And then we have fan questions sprinkled in this time. So we're going to start with one of those from Ashley Guns, and she wants to know who your best girlfriend is from the show.
Great question. So all of the girls are pretty close. I'm very close with Chelsea and Laura. Those are my two of my best friends. So I'm so thankful for this experience and for meeting them.
Aw, and then you have another close connection who may or may not have a special day today.
Oh yeah, Dion and Vince are also two of my good friends. And it's Dion's birthday, so happy birthday, Dion.
Happy birthday, Dion. We hope you have a great birthday. We hope you're not watching this right now, because then, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so happy birthday to Dion. Now, back to the romantic side. We know who your friend connections were. Tell us about your pod connections.
Yeah, so my top three were Matthew, Ben, and Nolan. So the one that got shown the most that maybe people are more familiar with is Matthew.
Sure. Yeah, we didn't get to see, we saw a tiny snippet of Nolan and then not really much of Ben, a little bit in the promo in the beginning. So what really drew you to them?
That's a good question. I think their personalities were all very laid back and adventurous. They all seemed to have their life together, and they really seemed like they were ready to find their person. Each one of them had something different and unique about them that kind of pulled me in. Nolan seemed to be like fun, family oriented, and very outgoing. And then Ben seemed very in tune with his like emotional side and could relate emotionally to people, empathetic. And then Matthew, and I remember telling Matthew this too, he reminded me a lot of my exes. So I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, no. That's never a good thing.
Right.
Okay. So you obviously had a lot of questions to ask in the pods. Were there any, I think it's Lavin R wants to know, were there any questions or 3 questions that you would have asked back then that you thought of after the fact?
Are you in this for the right reasons? No, I'm just kidding. I think I think that's a hard one. It would be more, if I can change the question a little bit, I think it'd be more, what questions shouldn't I have asked? And I think because I was really sleep deprived and our flight was so delayed. I stayed up 3 a.m. packing the night before, and I just was like half a person. So when the first day of dating, I dated people like I would in the real world. And I'm very picky for no reason. I don't know why. So I just kind of was like having my checklist, and I just kind of like the things that I should have been more open-minded to. And the reason that I really wanted to do this was to be open-minded. And I just kind of, went about it the wrong way. So I wish I would have been, and I even went in the next day and asked my producer, hey, can I re-rank everybody? I did it. I was tired. She said, nope, we can't. It's too late.
Oh no. Do you think your experience would have changed if you were able to re-rank everybody?
I don't know. Great question. I think that some of the guys there were great and amazing. Some of them I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't know that my person was necessarily there. So
that's fair enough. And if your flight was delayed and you're packing the night before, so you go straight into dates day one?
No, you still have a day. You have a day like photo. I mean, it's still early. So you still are up early and you go to bed very late. So you have a day of just photos and interviews and all of that before you go into the dating. Okay.
Now, I'm sure you had some pretty interesting interactions in the pods with your dates. There was one moment you were talking to your date and you asked them to touch their toes. So what was going on there and who was that with? What was the context there?
Yeah, so I like to make everything a game, even when it's not. I was trying to think, you have to think on your toes too, because it's like in the moment. Sure. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know. I mean, I want to make a better game, but so you get 2 gifts. So you bring a gift that is personal to you, that's something that maybe, just as personal. And then you also have a gift that you would maybe give your significant other. So my gift was, I felt like the guy I was dating at that time needed a little pick me up because I knew he was going through a hard time and it was really a hard process for him. I mean, it's hard, it can be hard, at different places for everybody, but so I wanted to give him my gift. And so what I did is I just like acted like, to find the gift, he had to like touch it. It was just hidden. I had them hide it underneath the couch. So I just had him like raise up, spin around 2 times. And like, I think I had him crawl on the floor actually.
Nice. So as much of a scavenger hunt as you could do in that small of a room.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. And what was that gift?
So that gift was actually my favorite book, which is called The Untethered Soul. So I was during a difficult time. Like I have a very close family member that battles addiction. And it was just a very trying time in my life. And then I was also like recently going through a breakup. So it was just like a weird time in my life that I wasn't in my best place. And I felt like that book really helped me get through a lot and get out of my head and more in the moment. So that is the gift that I gave him.
You know, it's funny, that book, I'm pretty sure if it wasn't Amy and Johnny's episode, there was another episode where Todd from Bunny Hugs and Mental Health podcast recommended that book in the context of a conversation that we were having about Love is Blind. So you're not the first one to recommend that. I'm going to have to check it out.
Oh, it's my favorite book. Yes, it's a great.
Did you get any gifts in the pod?
No. No gifts for me. I know.
Sunni. What an injustice. I would demand a do-over. That's not right.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. Can we get a redo? No.
Season 6.2, 6B.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to see your love story, but I know you had a bit of one there. So do you want to share it?
Sure. So you're probably referring to Matthew a little bit. Maybe. So I was dating Matthew when he left. He said that I was his number 2, but what he failed to do is tell me why before he left. I knew he was like going through a difficult time, so I don't know. Maybe he was telling more people that they were his number 2 or whatever. I knew AD was his number 1, which was fine, but I feel like we were both moving up on each other's list, and
Sure.
So I was kind of like, when he left, it kind of did hit me in a weird way. And even rewatching it and reliving it, I was like, wait, because not many of the girls were fans of him. So it wasn't like I could go and like talk about it. And then I don't know. I think that I've always struggled with feeling special or feeling like, important to somebody. So the fact that he couldn't even say goodbye kind of did stick with me. So yeah, so we actually did afterwards, he was like FaceTiming me on the plane, and we decided to go on a few dates. He did make me the famous chicken and rice and a salad and a little dessert.
You got the 3-course meal.
Yeah. So, I mean, it ultimately just didn't work out, but he seems very happy now with the person he's with, so.
Sure. And why do you think they didn't air that story? I mean, he did have the AD Amber love triangle, but you obviously were also a major part of his storyline. So why do you think they didn't air that?
Well, I think that part of the reason is, like when we were in the ladies' lounge, actually, Amber and AD both asked me, hey, is he saying the same things to you? He's saying all this stuff to me. And in my mind, I was like, well, we're all dating the same people. We're trying to get to know them. We're probably going to be saying similar things. So I kind of didn't like feed into it too much. And I kind of walked away. Little did I know when I rewatched it, I was like, you could have copied and pasted that from him talking to me so it was kind of like, okay, maybe I should have listened to them a little bit more, but I was trying to give it a full chance. So.
Okay. And did you guys talk a lot about how you were getting along with the guys who your tops were in the ladies' living quarters, or was it competitive? What was the dynamic like there?
I feel like we all kind of got along for the most part. We didn't really tell each other who we were. I mean, some people we did, like, Laura and I were the closest. We were the closest in the pods between us. So we were telling each other everything, but trying to, navigate, not making anybody feel like, for instance, Sarah Ann would be like, Jeremy just said this, 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 and this. And, like that's going to make somebody anxious and make someone uncomfortable. We're all dating the same people. And so she kept like bragging about their relationship. And I can say that about her because we're not friends, but, it can make people uncomfortable very easily, especially when we're all dating the same people. So we were kind of respectful of each other for the most part, and trying to keep to ourselves and talk, knowing if we did kind of know who was dating who, we would kind of be more open. I wasn't really telling people who I was dating other than Laura and like the close girls there. So.
Okay. Yeah. It seems like there's always like a group dynamic of we're going to tell everybody everything, or we're going to keep everything pretty close to the vest in every season? And especially the guys versus the women. It's just very interesting to me how, you know, you have people who want to share every detail and maybe they're overly excited or really competitive. And then you have people who want to just keep it to themselves and see how the process goes. So I always find that interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I also had seen out there on the internet somewhere a picture of you in Hawaii with some of your fellow castmates. So who did you go to Hawaii with? What'd you guys do? Tell us about the trip.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I left at the same time Sarah Ann was leaving, and the guy I was seeing, Ben, actually was leaving at the same time as well. So we all decided, let's go to Hawaii. Let's get a break, because it was really, honestly, you have to process a lot of different things when you leave there, and it's just hard to go back home and see even your friends and family and be like, it didn't work out, and then go through and, you know, discuss it. So we needed just like a breakaway. And Sarah Ann and Vince had a connection. So they were going to explore that, and I was going to explore it with Ben. So we thought that this would be a great trip. So we went to.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm jealous. I want to go to Hawaii with you guys. Jeez.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do you guys all try to keep in touch and have group outings? Maybe not on that scale, but as far as locally?
Yes, absolutely. I'm all the time trying to get everybody together. There's when we got back, I got the girls together one time, and I always like doing things with everybody. So I think Vince has mentioned that before, but yeah, and
Yes.
Vince too. Yeah, we both like doing a lot of things, and I mean, we all became like a family. We all are trauma bonded now, so
Yeah.
stuck together for life.
Have you met or chatted with any of the cast members from prior seasons?
Yes, I have. I have
And
chatted with a few of them.
who are any standout to you? Because you have quite a few who are either local to Charlotte, or I know Lydia was there recently.
Yep. And Julian's also local to Charlotte.
Julian, Kenny. Yeah, you guys have, that's a popular area.
And there's a lot of the girls have reached out. My memory is so bad. But there's been a few people that I've talked to that have been so sweet and so helpful. So it's nice. We really want to do, and like Chris Fox.
Oh yeah,
Chris
from Houston.
So. We really want to do like a reunion, like a Love Is Blind reunion with everybody, get like at a lake house or something. So
I had talked to everybody about, do you have pets?
I do not.
You don't. So that doesn't mean you can't participate, but I'm trying to work on, and I'm so behind on this, a kind of game show charity event where the seasons compete against each other. And Jordan and I have to work out the details, but somehow we would fundraise either tickets to the event virtually, or, you know, meet and greet, whatever, and then have those funds go to the winning team's choice of pet rescue.
Nice.
So we'll have to get you involved there. Yeah, I would love to do it with everybody in person, but I understand the logistics of that are probably pretty difficult. But if you guys end up doing a reunion, let me know, because maybe we can do it there.
I will for sure.
Now we have another fan question for you, and that was, what are your top 3 deal makers and deal breakers when dating?
Oh man, deep question. So my deal makers would probably be somebody that's family oriented, wants to have kids, emotionally available and ready to find their person, and somebody that's fun and adventurous and loves to travel, because that's one of my favorite things to do. So those are some deal makers. Okay. And then deal breakers. Honesty is my number one. To always be honest. Even small lies. I will never trust. I won't say never, but small lies really make it hard for me to even believe anything else.
Sure.
And, yeah. Somebody that's empathetic and considerate. That's also. Oh wait,
that's a deal maker. We're on deal breakers.
Somebody that isn't empathetic.
Okay.
Somebody that's not considerate, someone that's maybe self-centered and, not, and then deal breakers. Somebody that's
could be smoking, bad teeth. It could be physical, mental.
All that. No, maybe someone that's controlling. I've been single
That's a
for a
good
long
one.
time, and I just can't control someone that's been on their own for so long. So,
Sure. Would you go on another dating show?
it would really depend on what dating show. I can't think of one right now that I would go on, to be honest with you, but um, who knows?
All
Who knows?
right. So perfect match called you tomorrow.
No, not for me.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I don't know that that one's really about finding love, but we love
I
to watch it
agree.
anyway.
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned that you and Ben had dated to the end of your experience on this show. So did you think you were going to get engaged, or was that kind of a mutual breakup?
It was a kind of a mutual breakup. I don't know. I think that for me, the process was a little quick. So it was like
Okay.
I wasn't like thinking, oh, am I going to get engaged? Like I know that that's the end goal, but I was just kind of thinking,
Right.
like, let's make it past. Let's just see how we connect today and
Yeah.
see. So because I remember even somebody walking out and being like, he just said I love you, and I was like, I was dating that guy too, and I was like, I don't feel anywhere close to saying I love you to anybody. What's happening? But so yeah, but I guess it was in the back of my mind for sure.
Okay. And then we have another fan question for you. This one is kind of, it's not related, but I guess it could be to the dating experience. What is the best trip you've been on and why? And do you have any travel tips?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I feel like every place that I travel to is so different in its own way. Probably one of my favorite trips, maybe Barcelona. That was my first solo trip, and
Okay.
I might be a little bit of a control freak, so I like to have like everything planned out. So I have
Yeah.
like an Excel spreadsheet. Like I like to know the distance. I like to know like what time I'm like give myself an idea of how much time I'm going to spend at each place because when I'm traveling, I want to make the most of every experience. I don't want to do something that I can do at home. So any tips around that? Oh man, use Google Maps. That's helped me get everywhere and do everything. And in most places that I've been, I feel like Google Maps has had my back.
Okay. Fair enough. And is there anywhere that you want to go top of your list?
Bali. Bali is at the very, very, very top of my list. So,
Okay. What about Bali intrigues you?
oh man, everything. I feel like it just would be so relaxing, a retreat. I would love to take a yoga class, do some
Okay.
meditating, like just learn, you know, go through yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Now we are going to go into our Instagram deep dive. I love these because it's always a surprise to you guys what you're going to see. And we do go all the way back into your Instagram history. So we'll start with an easy one. We'll ease your way into it. Let's talk about your cast photo and your cast photo shoot. So if you could just describe what's going on in the picture for anybody who's not watching, and then your quote and how that applies to you and how you felt in the photo shoot.
Yeah, so what they probably don't, or I don't know if anybody's told you this yet or not, but we actually have to wear that outfit for 3 days in a row. So we weren't really
Oh,
prepared for that. And so, funny story with this. I mean, it's not really related to this photo, but it just reminds me of this.
sure.
So the pens that they give you with the notebooks, they both of the front and the back look the exact same. So I kept forgetting which side was like the tip of the pen, and I kept accidentally writing all over myself. And I wasn't the only one to do this, but
Okay.
they had to hand wash my dress, and some of the people had to stay up all night washing my dress because I got so much
Oh
ink all over
no.
it. Yeah, so that's what this reminds me of because I still, yeah, that anyways. So
That
this
poor intern.
I know, I felt so bad. They were like, we had to use the blow dryer to blow it dry. I was like, sorry.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
It's a rough
I guess
job, but
so. I guess. But yeah, so that was the photo shoot was fun. It really was. I wish I could see all the photos from it because we took a good group photo with all the girls, and I'm like, where's that at? But and the quote, I'm not sure which part you have to fill out so much that it must have been just something I wrote down somewhere, but I'm actually okay with this quote. I know my worth and I want someone who knows it too. Because I feel like it's been hard to find someone that matches my energy and gives what I give. And so just in itself, knows my worth. And
yeah, that's important. And I think it's funny because a lot of times people don't remember. You guys have filled out so many surveys and had so many interviews, they don't remember saying anything like that. So at least you know that that's pretty true to you and close to the heart.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jordan, what do we have next?
Cute.
Oh, so I think this is that's my fault.
I'll do the part of it.
I forgot that we can't play video clips. So this is just to fill in, it's a video of you at an event with the Love is Blind cast. So
yes. So
it looks like tell me about it.
Yeah, this was actually my birthday party that Chelsea and my friend Danielle helped throw, and Dion's DJing. So this is me in the middle of a dance move, but it was a lot of fun. So I think that the whole video is kind of a remix of all the things that we weren't really able to post until that day. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put them all together. I am so thankful for everyone I met through this experience. So that's what that is. It's kind of a mashup of the Love is Blind cast.
Okay. All right. And we'll move on to the next one. Sorry about that still. Jordan, what do we have? Okay, so you, it looks like the birthday was Hawaiian themed, and now you are a big costume person, it looks like. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here for a good costume. I have a whole costume box, unfortunately.
So tell us about, do you go all out for Halloween? What are these costumes? What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Okay. So the one on the left, we were Care Bears.
Okay.
I was actually with Chelsea for that. On the right, at the top, I'm Cupid. And then below that, I am a Power Ranger. So,
do you still dress up?
I do. So the one on the left where we were Care Bears was the most recent October.
Okay. All right. I do too. I hand out candy, but
I mean, I love it too. I'm a sucker, for taking a kid trick-or-treating or handing out. I love it. So I usually go and do that at my friend's house, and then the night of, I'm like,
yeah. This year, my neighbor and I handed out margaritas, like canned margaritas to the parents, and that was a big hit. So
I need to come to you.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that. Okay, Jordan, what do we have next? You on a giant bed.
Yes, this is in India, actually. So I am half Indian. My dad is from India. So we have a lot of family in India. And every time we go, we get to explore different places. And we stayed in this old ranch. And so this was one of the huge old English beds that I stayed on. And it's massive, as you can see.
Oh, so that's a room, like an actual hotel room?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought this was like a museum of illusions.
No, this is an actual
the bed just looks so massive.
No, yeah, it is. It's huge. So big.
Okay. All right. What do we have next, Jordan? Going way back to 2015.
Yes. I was on the Storm Squad. So that was a lot of fun. I honestly wasn't a huge hockey fan until this. So I just was like kind of getting bored, and I was like, I need something else to add to my everyday working life. And so I just went to try out. They asked me some questions that I felt really stupid answering, like, what is a hat trick? I can't even remember what I said. Something really stupid about like taking off your hat and throwing it in the rink. I don't, like that. I'm like, this is not going to work out for me. I'm done. But somehow I got on it, and I met a lot of really awesome women, and it was a really fun experience.
Is Storm Squad a cheerleading team or a dance team, or I haven't heard of it before.
Yeah, it's kind of like their cheerleading team for the NHL hockey team. Yep.
Are you a hockey fan now?
I want to say yes. I will go. I will go to any game live, any type of sports. Haven't been following it. If you ask me any questions about it, I would have no idea. But I could watch it and get into it, probably, especially if I like bet on it or drink or something. Small.
Oh yeah. Well, sure. If you bet on it, you gotta be into it. I know. I tried to get into sports, not my thing. Have you heard of the Savannah Bananas?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I used to go to Savannah a lot, and so I got to go to a few of their games. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, that if you're not into sports but you want to get into it, that would be my number one recommendation for getting into sports is Savannah Bananas, because they dance, it's fun, they sing.
Oh yeah,
that was a good time.
They're great. They're great.
All right, what's the last one we've got, Jordan? This is one of your first Instagram pictures. What are you doing here? Explain.
Oh my gosh. So this is so funny. I can't even remember. This was what? Well, this was probably, I took this probably before I posted it. But it was for a photo shoot for a magazine for, I think, the Little Red Dress campaign or something.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, they just asked if I wanted to be in it, and that is a scary photo. Very scary photo.
No, you look like you're ready to drive off into the sunset. You've got an interesting outfit on. You look a little bit like Britney Spears here, I think.
Oh, really?
No, maybe.
Maybe.
I also have told an ex he looks like Jimmy Kimmel, which I thought was a compliment, and he got really insulted by. So, I'm not the most accurate, but
I'll take it.
Okay. So we're going to do some games, but if anybody has some questions they want to submit, we can ask them live. Just drop them in the comments wherever you're following. YouTube, Instagram. Looks like we are live on Facebook too today. Leave them in the comments, and Jordan will try to pop them up in our chat, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. So now I have a choice for you, Sunny.
Okay.
You can pick a game. I'll give you, some of these are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll give a little background for anybody who may not know. We have a choice of 4 games. The first one is Icebreakers, which is just interesting questions to ask on an awkward first date. The next one is Pick a Partner, where we ask you to pick a cast member, male or female, from your show that you would do one of the following scenarios with. So the scenario might be create a podcast. So we'll give you various scenarios. Never Have I Ever, which of course we will give you a example like never have I ever used a selfie stick, and you would have to tell us if you did or not. Or Would You Rather is the final one, where we give you 2 options and you have to tell us which you would rather do. So pick a game.
Oh man. How about Would You Rather?
All right. That's good because that one is queued up already.
Perfect.
Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I think, yeah. Find true love, of course. And then we can make the lottery later.
Depending on the day, I have different answers to that question, but this is your journey, so I'll let you have it. Would you rather have a pause or rewind button in your life?
That's a good question. Where are we pausing at?
Right now, right in this moment, right now.
Okay, probably a rewind. I could probably do a lot of things better and differently.
Okay, is there a particular age or point in time you'd want to rewind to?
Oh man, maybe college, like right at the beginning of college.
Okay. That's a good one. Yeah, I had a lot of fun in college too. I can see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go through a lot of it again, but if you can like selectively skip around, I think I would do that too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking off my shoes. I gotta get comfortable.
Of course.
Would you rather have all of your messages and photos, have all of your photos or text messages leaked publicly?
Ooh. Maybe that's a great question. I guess text. I'm not really good with my phone, so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nothing scandalous on there.
I'm pretty much an open book.
Okay. I get that from you. Would you rather go on a date with somebody 20 years older or a 19-year-old?
Oh man, I could be a cougar. Let's see. It depends. There's so many different things I have in my mind about it. Like
I know, but that's the fun of Would You Rather. You don't know. You just got to make a decision.
Okay. I guess 20 years older.
Okay. I will say when I first Totally made up these questions 100% on my own and did not steal these from anywhere on the internet at all whatsoever, prevention.com. It said, would you rather date someone 20 years older and 20 years younger? And you guys are on the younger side. And I was speaking to Austin, and it was the first time I asked the question. And I think he's like 26 or 27. And I didn't really think that one through. So now we just go with a 19-year-old. The math doesn't always. Yeah.
He's is that legal?
Yeah. What do you think, Dina? Yeah. Sorry. I'm not here because I'm good at math. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Would you rather give your parents or your boss access to your browser history?
Oh, I was about to say my boss. She's pretty cool.
All right. That's good. And then finally for this game, would you rather hit on someone or have someone hit on you?
Have someone hit on me.
Okay. What's a good approach? What would really sweep you off your feet, at least for a first date, if somebody were to come ask for your number?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think confidence is everything. Just having the confidence and saying anything. I think a compliment can go a long way.
Okay.
Or a question about life. I don't know.
Okay.
Or you can just be like, hey, what do you like here? Have you been here before? It doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah.
But, there's a connection. You go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm going to ask you to pick one more game.
Okay. Now
we have Never Have I Ever, Pick a Partner, or Icebreakers.
How about we can do Icebreakers?
Sure. Okay. Let me pull that one up. Here we go. What is on the top of your bucket list?
So the top of my bucket list would probably be, living a happy life. Having a family and owning my own business is definitely one of my life goals. And I do have an extensive travel list. So.
Okay. And we know Bali's on the top of it. Is there any plans for a next destination? Any travel plans in the future?
Yes, I'm going to Australia at the end of July.
Oh, nice. How exciting.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, traveling is my favorite thing to do.
I'll have to pick your brain. I've never, I have a passport, but it's empty. So I want to get my first stamp in it. And I'll pick your brain about that later because I don't know where to go or what to do.
I'm here. I spreadsheet for days too. So
I am a spreadsheet girly too. Jordan probably laughs at me every time there's an option. I will make a spreadsheet for it.
Why not? Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be and why?
Is it someone from the cast or is this just
anyone?
Anybody?
Just anybody. Any old person.
Maybe Blake Lively. I feel like.
Okay, nice.
Wait. Maybe Taylor Swift. Actually, I'm not even a huge Swiftie. I'm not gonna say I'm a huge Swiftie because I'm not. But I feel like she probably lives a pretty glorious life.
Yeah, I would think so. Are you a Travis Kelce fan?
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
He's easy on the eye. Not too bad.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
If you had a mute button, you'd probably be fine. What does the last text you've sent say?
Oh, that one was actually to Dion. He said, good luck.
He's getting 2 shout outs today.
Yes. Happy birthday, Dion. He said, thank you. Or I said, thank you so much. Have the best birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Dion. We hope that you are not listening to this yet, but later. Yeah. Okay. If you had to pick a TV show or movie that you would live in, it would be a real life, what would it be?
If I had to pick a movie or TV show, I'd probably pick The Great Gatsby. I think that would be a lot of fun. Not the tragedy part of it, but it's not the whole movie, but I'm gonna live in that.
The party, the atmosphere. I get you. That would be fun.
Yeah.
What is the craziest thing you've done for love?
The craziest thing. Well, I can't think of anything like super crazy, but what I did do is I met a guy for the first time in Nashville. So the
Okay.
first time meeting him in person, which I think is kind of crazy because I wouldn't have, I mean, yeah, maybe it's not, but I think it is.
Wait, we need to know more about this. Did you fly there? Did you drive there? Did you meet him there? What?
So I flew there, and it was actually my ex. So it ended up working out then,
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
But.
I have a similar story. My boyfriend at the time and I had known, we had common friends growing up but never met that we know of. And we talked for quite a few months, on the phone, online, we video chat, and he came out for the holidays. And the plan was like, if it works out, great, stay. And if not, then go home. And he stayed, and he still lives in Arizona.
Oh, wow. You brought him back. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. We both thought the other was going to murder each other. I lived at the time in a very rural area of Phoenix. And so we're driving down these dirt roads with no lights. And he's like, I thought you were going to murder me. And I was like, I thought you were going to murder me. But we went through with it, and we're both still alive. So
that's awesome. That's great. And the holidays are the best times to have somebody there.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting experience. My parents, I think, were ready to kill me for that too. But you gotta do crazy things for love sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna take some more fan questions. So, did you have a most memorable date in the pods? Is there anything that really stood out?
So there are some dates that you can like plan yourself. So they were kind of like, you can get creative. And I think I was the first person to kind of take it and run with it. When I heard, oh, we can get creative, I was like, I'll ask for whatever I want. So Nolan actually told me his favorite holiday was the 4th of July. And like, he has a big family celebration and all of that. So I planned like I didn't really plan it too much. They did all the work, but I asked them to like deck it out for the 4th of July. And I think we had like a mimosa bar, and I can't remember everything, but like I remember we got to pick a meal. And so I picked like, he told me his favorite like breakfast. And so I asked if we could do brunch. And so I gave them all of his favorite things, and then it was all decked out. We even had a hula hoop in there because he asked me like one of my most embarrassing moments, and I was like, well, when I was in elementary school, I was wearing cherry underwears and hula hooping, and they were like, so they put a hula hoop in there, but they like decked it all out for the 4th of July. So it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, that is very cool. And it doesn't surprise me at all that you would be the first one to prepare a date. I definitely feel like that is 100% you, just from our little time together that we've had. Okay, our next fan question is, what is the craziest interview question or application question they asked you before getting cast?
Oh, man, to plan our entire wedding. Does that count?
You had to, wait a minute. This is good. You had to plan the wedding before you even knew if you were going to get married or not?
Yes. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh my God.
Because I just did. I don't know.
I'm not holding you to anything.
I mean, it was a lot because, you're trying to get wrap up from work because you're about to be gone for a few weeks, and you're trying to pack, and you're trying to like figure out all the stuff. So it was like, okay, I only have like a couple days to do this and figure out what I want, who I want to be there, and all that. So I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that, so I'm going to stop.
Well, I've definitely heard that you had to put together lists of who you'd want there, obviously to give family members notice and things like that, but I didn't know you had to plan the whole thing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah.
Now you are a planner, so do you have a specific wedding vision that you have in mind for when that day does come?
So I didn't before that, and I still I feel like that's why I was kind of like, I feel like I should be planning that with like my person. So it was kind of hard because I mean, if there is any input, I mean, I can plan it myself if needed, but like if there is input, I feel like that's going to help like figure out,
Sure.
really. But I kind of went with like a Bohemian, half Indian, half American wedding type.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That sounds fun. And then you had to prepare for a wedding, but how do you prepare for the show?
I mean, it's really hard because again, you're just it was so busy before because I was trying to get everything for work wrapped up so that I could be gone for a couple of weeks. And I mean, I want to see my parents, I want to see my family. And so I was just kind of like everywhere. But to prepare for the show, you really prepare because, sorry, I had to think about that, but you're preparing to possibly bring your husband or fiance home. So you want to get everything in order. You want your life to be put together in a way that you're going to bring somebody else into it possibly. So you really do have to, you want to clean, you want to organize, you want to get everything set, you want to get yourself set. So it's a lot of work you want to do on yourself and everything around it.
So did your family and friends know that you were going on the show and were potentially going to bring back a fiance?
You're not supposed to tell them, but they might have known. I definitely, I mean, it's hard. How do you not? I obviously have a really big mouth, so not telling them would have been really difficult. And I wanted them to be okay with it. And I kind of remember mentioning to my mom, we were sitting down and it came on, and I was trying not to tell them because I was like, it might not work out. Love is Blind was on, and I said, what if I did this show? And my mom was like, absolutely not. Heck no, you don't need to do that. And I was like, okay. And I was like, why? And then I started getting like defensive. I was like, why not? What's wrong? Do you really know the concept behind it? So now she's like the biggest fan. So she didn't know, but she knew that you were gone for a long period of time. So what did they think that you? They knew. So I didn't tell her in that moment. So that was like still early on in the process.
Okay.
But I ended up telling her. Now she's honestly like the biggest fan. She will give me updates on everyone's life. I'm like, Mom, it's okay.
My mom does that too.
Yeah.
My mom, I was out the other day and my mom was like, Amy and Johnny are live. And I was like, that's great. And she watched the whole thing and gave me a full report.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
cute.
Mom. She always has my back.
Yes.
Were there any moments that you wish aired or didn't air that you watched back or felt missed out on?
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of different, I mean, of course, like, I don't know. I think it played out the way that it was supposed to play out regardless. So it's hard to say, like, is there moments that were missed out or not? I think Laura and my friendship, there was a lot, like, they didn't even show a lot of her, I feel like, in the pods or in the lounge. And so we had a lot of moments where we would, kind of, there was a lot of, like, moments that were just hilarious that I was really hoping would air. So that's probably the extent of that. But
okay.
I mean, yeah.
What were the best and worst parts of filming?
The best parts of filming. I mean, in general, it's just like getting to know the girls, I think. And, the guys are nice too, but, you're dating them. And I think the worst part for me was like, I almost felt like I had to, which I never do when I'm dating in real life. So I don't know why I did this there, but I almost felt like I was selling myself. And I didn't realize it till after the fact, but I was like so sold on the fact that my guy was there that I don't know that I went in there being myself, which I'm a very, I think, open book. Like I have nothing to hide. I'm going to be honest. Like I want to find my person that I work well with and they work well with me. But in there, I was like, these guys are all amazing. Like I need this. Definitely he's over there. So it was just like not my true self, maybe to an extent.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. I wish there was like a prep class for you guys before you went on the show to ease into it. And I know there are a million reasons why they can't do that, but I think that would be fun too. And even behind the scenes bloopers of getting ready for the show, giving you guys some cameras would be fun. But yeah. I'm not Netflix, so.
You won't see much about getting ready because we get ready not together. So, but yeah.
You guys, because you're all in hotel rooms, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's the one benefit of being season 6 versus season 1, where they were all in that bunker or bunker.
Yeah.
Military hangar.
Yeah. Believe me, when I read that, that was like one of the first questions. I was like, where are we sleeping? What kind, is it clean? Because I'm not doing that if that's the case.
Oh, excuse her. Okay. And then last fan question. Let's see. I will pick one. When you were flying to the show, could you scope out any potential cast members?
Oh yeah, like when we were at the airport, I mean, we had a 4-hour delay. So after we got there, we found out the 4-hour delay. So you can see like all these beautiful women just sitting down. Like I have an American airline card, so I can go to the lounge. So I went to the lounge up until the last minute, and so then I walked up, and then I saw one of the girls that I know at a bar. So we started talking and we were like, are you here for the same reason as me? And so, and then we walked by a bunch of girls sitting down. So I was going to take her to the lounge and I saw a bunch of girls sitting down. And so we were like, are you guys? And so then we started talking for a little bit. So, but we had some time to kill. So we went back to the lounge.
Okay. So there were,
tell.
What is the key tell to that person is probably on Love is Blind?
Well, you can like the age range, you could kind of tell, and then we kind of all, I don't know. That's a tough question. I feel like they're not going to get anybody that's not outgoing or not.
Sure.
I mean, I don't want to, but like I feel like everybody you could see it and you could spot it. Like they're there for the same reason as me, and they have the big suitcase. Like they're.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the packing style or.
Yeah. Yes.
Something like that. Somebody's carrying a giant tuba. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of gifts, I am going to gift you with a spirit animal reading of sorts.
Ooh.
So I bought this deck of 54 cards. I'd asked you to pick a number between 1 and 54, and you picked 11. So I have the number 11 card here. I'm going to read you the description. And you tell me if this applies to you at all or if you think it could. Okay. Your card is the Dolphin Peace.
Ooh.
And it says, the gentle nature of the dolphin reminds you to look for the good in everyone and strive to bring peace to your life and those around you. Trust your instincts and intuition rather than overthinking things. So, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think that's... I definitely am an overthinker, so I think that card definitely is a good card for me. Yeah.
The cards don't lie so far.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Sunny, tell us, promote whatever you like. Tell us what you have going on, because I know you guys have so many projects going on. So tell us about some of them.
Yeah. So we actually have there's a local magazine that's getting ready to launch at the Love and Life Music Festival, which is pretty cool. And they did an interview with me. So it's going to kind of tell a little bit of my story as well. They want to get like real people in Charlotte. They have some like NFL players. They have, I don't know if I'm supposed to keep some of these people a secret. So I'm just going to, it's got some really good people. And now you guys can't tell me anything if I can't say it. It's just not allowed.
I didn't say anything. I'm just here drinking my drink.
Yeah, so me, Laura, and Chelsea are getting on stage, and so are Clay, Johnny, and Dion. So they're going to get on stage and do a Q&A. We're going to do the girls separate from the guys, but while they're launching it, they have their own stage. So that will be a lot of fun. And yeah, we have a couple of different things going on. But yeah, I think that's all I can really talk about right now.
Okay, that's fair enough. And where can we follow you online?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Sunita Gabrielle, which is SUNITA GABRIELLE.
All right. Thank you so much, Sunny, for coming on today. Thank you, everybody, for listening, tuning in, watching, and dealing with the barking dogs as usual. You can follow the Love Pod at Love Pod Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know if there's a social media platform out there. We're probably on it. Reddit. We're on Reddit too. You can go to Etsy, Love Pod Reality TV Fan Shop, and get your cute little Love Pod mugs. We've got gold wine glasses. We've got shirts. We've got journals that I threw so that the dog would stop barking. We have all sorts of fun reality TV merch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again, Sunny, for joining us. We love you, and we will see you next time.